And welcome back, everybody. Alright, now we're witchering with style. Happy Monday, my dudes! So currently, all of my usual co-hosts and cohorts are either sick or asleep, so... Pollen season here in San Antonio is a very serious thing. But I hope everybody's doing really well. I may just be talking to myself for a little while, and that's okay. We will try to remain zen about things, considering that one of the best things that we have learned throughout this pandemic is how to sit in isolation and not go immediately mad, like how to delay it so that we go slowly mad instead. So, the last time we left off here, we had a nice little heart-to-heart with the Bloody Baron. Turns out that he's a tremendous jerk. Abusive, lied to us, which is not cool. Breaks the veritable Witcher code. Not a fan of that. Now I have to find Tamara, the Baron's daughter, in Oxenfurt. No sign of the wife, I don't think. Either way, the important part is, if we do deliver these people back to the Baron, I would like to, you know, bring them back heavily armed. Lie to me. Man, this is a, that is a particularly tenacious dog.
Slow now.
I got off track.
Giddy up.
Dog threw me off my groove. Oh well. The trick to going slowly mad is the mercury, says my buddy Rob, and that's true. I've been trying on a whole bunch of new hats. My hair is getting just long enough where I need something to hold it back. Otherwise it does this, like, this clown afro kind of thing. So I have been considering going to perhaps a haberdasher. What's up, guys?
Run, Roach.
Clip a clop, clip a clop, clip a clop, clip a clop. This is the exciting gameplay that everybody came for. Horse riding simulator. 1996. Yeah, but otherwise, hope everybody had a decent enough week. Hope that things went well for everyone. If you had the chance, hope you got vaccinated. Rob, how you doing, baby? There was like a minute or so delay in between chat popping up. Yeah. Horse Simulator 1998 was really where the series took off and shone. They added the Palomino patch, new bridles, the whole dressage mechanic was really just astounding, really. Technologically unmatched. I saw a thing earlier today that was like a beautiful inspirational picture of a gorgeous woman riding a majestic steed. And it just said, horses probably get farted on more than any other animal. And, well, how to do it. Okay, hang on. The quest thing says I'm 750 away. And there's a very dangerous ghoul here, and I'm gonna fight it because I'm... See, maybe that's what I should do, with this channel, is just, like, rebrand it to to play horse games. Okay. Alright, I'm glad you're here, Tom, because I'm gonna go fight this, is that my silver sword? Yeah. I'm going to gird my proverbial loins and go fight this much stronger than me ghoul. And I wanted you to be here for it. Spectre oil, cursed ones, necrophage, yeah. And I'm going to get my Igni up. And I'm gonna go pick a fight with this ghoul. An owl ghoul. Hey! Dark Soul. Hardcore. This is one of those things where I probably should have done research on this enemy before fighting it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that ain't good. Whoa. Whoa, why am I slowed? Never mind, Mr. Ghoul. We are running. But hey, Tom, I survived. I'm doing great. I'm going to bring up my map and we're going to... Okay, so that's already marked with a pin. Cool, I don't need to drop a pin in that. We'll be back for that, dude. Hey, look, when I started this game, Tom, I took on that Wraith, and, I did very well, so... I think I have just the right level of confidence in myself. Enough to know when to run away.
That's it, Roach.
But again, I don't know anything about any of the monsters here, so if you say, like, oh, it's an owl ghoul, it's different, I'm like, why? A foglet. What is that? Hey, hey. See, like, how am I supposed to know that, Tom? I don't have my co-host, my guide through Fantasy Poland, screaming in my ear. I have to wait a minute for chat to catch up before. Oh, it's an owl ghoul. Use the mind control sign. Oh yeah, classic owl ghoul behavior. Well, I'm gonna go poke him again. I don't learn lessons. Okay, check. Inventory. No. Inventory. Potions. Oils. Necrophage oil. Necrophage oil. Damage generation. We're gonna swap that for our apple. I'm gonna equip the mind control sign. Now, what did I just do? There we go. I'm gonna replace the honeycomb with fruits and nuts. Alright, so I got my swallow, I got these nuts, I got my oil. I have Axie. And I'm gonna go, let's go on ahead and save it. Just because we can cheese this a little bit. Cannot save my game right now, okay. Woo woo! Woo woo! So he takes off half of my health. No, no. Nope, nope, I need the right sword. Yo-yo. Dark Souls. Nope. I keep hitting the wrong button in terms of which item I want to use. Go in for the kill. Get him, get him, Jerry Two Swords. We got this, stick and move. No, not like that. Move the other way. Like the good way. Get in a couple of the... Oh, heavy hits and dodge. No, no. We are not amused, says the Owl Ghoul. Oh, come on. You trying to lure me or something? Hey. There, you spiky git. Gonna need to meditate after this and get more of my wallow. Okay. There we go. Just like that old children's nursery rhyme. If it's an owl ghoul, control his brain. Alright, where's my treasure? No, Saddle Blankets was game changing in terms of the horse simulator genre, really. I mean, just not even Horse Simulator 98. Hard. Do anything? That help? There's some stuff. Alright. Let's go find this, let's go find this daughter-shaped thing. Stop and pick some flowers. After that, we're gonna save our game for a victory, because we know that we're gonna run into those foglings a little bit later. No, it is so wonderful, by the way, to hear from fellow horse game aficionado Lindsay. We miss dearly. Amanda and I were talking about you the other day, and just how much we missed your pretty face.
Aww.
Hey, there she is.
Hello, it's me.
How are you, Fran?
Horse simulator aficionado.
We do love the horse games. How are you, bud?
How are you?
I'm doing okay. You know, we are all we're all doing what we can to maintain a semblance of normalcy, and I don't know how well I have done in that regard, but you know, we keep on keeping on. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to figure out how to watch you on YouTube and also talk to you on Discord at the same time.
Yeah, it can get a little bit disorienting. But
the lag is quite the thing.
yeah, Amanda said when she was chatting with me at one point, she was like, "Yeah, you've got about a minute of delay, and it's really, really disorienting."
That's honestly fine. Like, it might honestly be better because I can help you just in no way with this game. I have never played it. So honestly, any advice I could give you would probably be a net negative at this point.
You know, you and I in the same boat. So like one of the reasons why I kind of started doing this was because after the super fun pandemic time economic struggle, after my job let me go, I realized, like, oh man, I have spent the last many years kind of like trying to be a functional adult, like driving. I drove an hour to work every day just because of traffic and the time that it took to navigate San Antonio. And then everything shifted to online, and, like, honestly, I could have been doing my job from home the entire time.
Oh,
you know?
Yep.
But by this point, I no longer had a job to do, so... I mean, I still could do, like, quality assurance stuff, but nobody would pay me for it.
Gotta love that capitalism.
Right. So I realized, I was like, man, while I have been doing this, while I have been, like, sinking so much of my time into kind of the office grind, I have missed out on a lot of good games. And I have friends who, who had been like, dude, you have to play Skyrim, you have to play The Witcher. And I always was like, yeah, I'll get around to that. And then never did. So now I can get around to it. I've got the time.
Fair. There's nothing quite like being forced to enact the symptoms of clinical depression to get you into, like, what if I played video games for many hours?
Yeah. I mean, it at least this time I'm playing video games for many hours and being more sociable.
Excellent.
Technically speaking, I'm connecting with more people this way than I am when I play video games on my own. And Rob, I have a Discord server. Let me throw you a link. If ever any of you would like to, just hop on and chat, like Lindsay is, then you are welcome to do so. Because really, like, another one of the purposes here is I realize that as much as I get used to the isolation, like I've been... Hang on one moment. Please save. And let me mess around on my other screen and send Rob a Discord link. But one of the... Everybody's going through probably one of the harder times in their lives, and everybody's feeling super duper isolated and alone. Which makes perfect sense. We by nature do not do this. We should not do this. It's tremendously unhealthy to deprive ourselves of human interaction and company for extended periods of time, and we've been doing it for 1.5 years.
Yeah, it's pretty wild,
Yeah.
honestly. I think the trauma that's going to come out of this, like, probably year and a half or 2 years is going to be hell of a thing to deal with in, like 5 to 10 years when we're all prepared to unpack it.
I think it's gonna screw up like an entire generation of kids don't have the same socialization skills that they would have had, not even just in school, just having people around, and that's tremendously sad to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
There we go.
it's gonna be a weird time, honestly.
So my thought was, well, as long as I'm, tremendously depressed and playing video games,
Hmm.
I can create a place. I can make I can get a joint where people can come and hang out, and uh, people can interact. I'll be here every week. I stream several times a week, or at least I'm working my way up to it. I'm gonna start doing different stuff to pass the time. Because it's going to be a long while before we're out of this, and I'm not sure that I'm technically employable. So we
Yeah.
have time.
Well, that's honestly legit. Like that's creating community. I feel like is one of the better possible uses for any given person's time.
Right?
So, yeah, I'm here for it. Even if it means watching you play Horse Simulator 1997.
Well, on Saturdays I also play Chrono Trigger, one of the best JRPGs ever made, and eventually I'm going to start like Final Fantasy 15. So, Pretty Boy
Exciting.
Anime Protagonist road trip simulator.
Yeah. Also, games I have never played, and will be of next to no use to, you in terms of giving advice. But I'm totally here to comment on the scenery and the horses.
Fantastic. That's really what we're here for. Like no, I tried to put my sword away. Tom provides me with like useful game tips, but if he's not like actually on the call, it's a minute after I need them. Otherwise, he fills me in on important story bits. So it is very helpful. Here, this is a Redanian camp that I'm in. I'm gonna get out of here before I meditate. I don't know who these guys are or what they want.
Long live, etc., etc.
I'll talk to this dude. Though.
Greetings.
He's got stupid glasses and some stuff to sell.
Wouldn't mind a look at your stock.
I get the distinct impression that Geralt is flirting with every single trader that he runs across. He looks at him and says, "Wouldn't mind a look at your stock." And I take that as sexual.
Wouldn't you if you looked like that?
I mean, yeah, I would flirt with somebody that looked like Geralt. I wouldn't flirt with somebody that looked like this trader.
I mean,
That's a lie.
I don't
I
know.
look
Man.
this traitor and you totally flirt with me.
You have a much better beard than this trader, Rob. This guy, low quality beard. Bam.
Farewell.
So I'm going to get right out of camp, and then I'm going to see if I can remember exactly how to meditate so that I can get my stuff back. There we are. And meditate for it. There. No, otherwise, I've got my boba tea. I've got 2 great friends on my Discord. My wife is asleep on the couch because she's had a rough migraine day.
Okay.
Yeah, the pollen apocalypse in San Antonio is here. But
I see a lot of weapons on your back. How
yeah.
many weapons are you carrying?
So I am carrying a crossbow, a silver sword, and a steel sword. The silver sword is useful against monsters, and the steel sword is sturdier and for use against non-monsters or men. And I have to switch between them to draw the proper sword, like these things, neckers. No,
Wait, did you just say neckers?
I did. Which I'm also going to, you know, everything in this game takes place in a fantasy version, a grim fantasy version of Poland.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that it's probably nakers because they are quite nude.
I see.
I thought it had to do with snogging.
Right.
Yeah, that's immediately where my brain went.
Right.
Necking.
Like inappropriate amounts of PDA.
Yeah. Like just handsy teenagers, but
Yeah.
in monster form.
I mean, those are monsters. Yeah, I found myself a bunch of neckers here in the woods. Let's see. Okay. If you ever do decide to play this game, Linz, something important you should know is that a lot of the gameplay is actually like CSI Fantasy Poland.
Okay.
Like you zoom your senses in and look at clues, and you know, you examine corpses to discover, you know, like, this griffin died this long ago. Looks like this is what killed it.
Exciting.
Yeah, I always want to put on a pair of sunglasses and scream after we find them. But
I've always wanted to be the medieval equivalent of a forensic scientist.
Right.
So, you know, right up my alley.
It's not quite Law and Order Fantasy Poland because I don't think there are any lawyers, and that's an important part of the two systems.
Yeah, that's true.
As to your question, Rob, I've got two swords, and that's why... Oop, I just took off my shirt by accident.
Happens to the best of us.
I mean, we enjoy the view, but no, I'm made of tissue paper. I need the armor.
Geralt, please, now is not the night. Now is not the time to stroke.
Right. But we call him Jerry Two Swords in the biz.
Oh, okay, sorry. Jerry Two Swords.
Yeah, because he's got two swords.
So on a scale from like Drizzt Uorden to like Himbo, where is Geralt, or rather Jerry Two Swords, on the angst scale?
Oh, on the angst scale, he's not as obnoxiously emo as Drizzt, which is good because I would immediately like turn the game off and leave. I hate Drizzt Uorden, the passion. So he's not Dristy in terms of his he has a little bit of a better sense of humor. He does have a wry wit to him. He is, however,
So not a Himbo, is what was what
a
you're saying
little
here.
bit of a himbo to the right people. Like,
No, see, it's all a like encompassing feature.
You-
Either
well-
you're full himbo or you're not.
you would think. Ordinarily, he's like very gruff, you know. He's there. He's a mercenary. He's there to get the job done, and he's not really here for your crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get him around Yennefer, his witchy goth girlfriend, and he goes full himbo. He's just what? Hey, where are we going? I like you.
Excellent. Good.
Yeah, so he is 100% himbo to the right person, and the right person. I've met one of them so far. There's apparently several people that I can become a ridiculous himbo for.
Fantastic.
But generally, you know, he's just he's a guy, you know. He knows about monsters. He's got weird cat eyes. He's you know, had a pretty rough childhood, which led up to the cat eyes, and yeah, he kills monsters for money and sport.
Exciting.
Nope. There are many drowners, and I am not coordinated.
So are all of these monsters just named like after a thing they do?
Yeah, so the drowners are, there are different different types of like sub varieties of critters. So a drowner is like a ghoul of a dude that drowned, as opposed to the ghouls, which are just guys who died and then came back and were like, you know, those corpses look pretty tasty. Let's get on that. So drowners just drag you underwater.
Yeah, I appreciate the straightforwardness of this naming convention.
There is a charming level of simplicity to it, where you're like...
Yeah, I mean, there's really no question, like, we gotta get out of here. There are drowners in the area. Like, you don't even have to go, like, oh, what does that mean? Just, it's very clear. Like, if we don't leave, something's gonna try to drown us.
Yeah, so the drowners are like our little fishmen friends. And my silver sword, which I require for fighting monsters, is very nearly broken. If there's one thing that every game needs, it's weapon durability mechanics.
Yeah, nothing actually ticks me off more than like any kind of system where like my beautiful heavy metal weapon degrades. Like, come on, guys. Just be chill. Let me have this.
Like, let me have my fancy sword. Please, 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 let me have my fancy sword.
Right? Yeah. It's very rude and I hate it.
Okay. So I need... I gotta go back down south. A bridge. There's a boat there, but I don't trust it. I don't trust anything in fantasy Poland.
Nor should you, apparently.
Yeah. But like, so what we've seen so far, let me get you, let me give you the Cliff's Notes version of the story. Yeah? So, we start off with, our boy Jerry Two Swords, hanging out with his thick goth GF, and training a precocious white-haired child, named Siri, in the art of doing pirouettes and kickflips, like sick kickflips off of balance beams. It's really awesome. It's totally rad.
Excellent. Okay, super rad.
We are doing this with the aid of a guy named Vesemir, or as the only way that I remembered his name until Tom kept calling him Vesemir, is Uncle Mitch, who looks like he maybe enjoys drink a little much. Older guy, but, you know, solid fellow. Cool dude, father figure, yada yada. So Jerry Two Swords and Uncle Mitch, raising this precocious, white-haired child. I beat her in a foot race, we assign homework, she doesn't like it, we go through a fight tutorial, and then skull-faced demon ghosts fly out of the wind, and, everything goes haywire. I wake up, it was all a dream. I've been looking for my thick goth GF for several days, and am slowly, like, catching up to her. She is working for the Nilfgaardian army, which is funny because it sounds like Milfgard.
What is
They're
Nilfgaard in Poland?
They're like
Are they elves?
no.
Are they fairies?
No, they're not. They're kind of imperial. Yeah, they're kind of imperialist slash proto-fascist. So
Oh, come on, Poland can't exist without some kind of proto-fascist, like,
It's
coming
true.
in and mucked it up. It's very disappointing.
Amanda actually bought a board game that is all about like it's like Warsaw, City of Ruin. And it is like a Poland getting conquered simulator. It's a Polish game made by Polish people, and they're like, yeah, so here's what it's like to keep getting taken over.
Well, I mean, that sure is a choice.
Yeah. I haven't played it yet.
I will say though, I mean, at the very least, they have a proud history of the Polish resistance, so like that's pretty cool.
But, so, I finally catch up with, yeah, there are a few side quests. You gotta do some stuff like, hey, before this dude tells me where Yennefer is, he wants me to kill a griffin, so I have to figure out how to kill a griffin. You have to use a particularly stinky bait and, like, lure it out. And then shoot it with, you know, yada yada yada. Kill the griffin. Finally get caught up to Yennefer, and we have a slight confrontation, like, hey, so working for the Nilfgaards, or the Nilfgaardians, that's a choice. You know, you wanna maybe talk about that?
That's certainly a choice, perhaps not the choice.
Right. Maybe there are other political alliances that you can go with that are not them. But turns out the reason. Let's see, this guy I would hit on because of his beard, Rob. You'll see him in 45 seconds.
Look at your stock.
But the where was I? Yeah, Yennefer working for the Nilfgaardians. That's because the Nilfgaardians know where my adopted daughter, Ciri, is. So Yennefer's playing the Nilfgaardians in order to find information about my pseudo-kid, the white-haired girl, who is now grown up and has a little bit of elf blood in her, can teleport and do all that cool stuff. And that leads us to where we are now. We have followed Ciri's trail and had a long conversation with a dude known as the Black Baron, or the Bloody Baron, who lied to me several times while he was hiring me to find his wife and daughter. He told me that they ran away or were kidnapped. Turns out he's an abusive asshole. So now I have to track down the daughter and determine if I'm going to send her back, how many weapons I should load her down with before I deliver her.
Crawl back under your rack.
So that's where we are now. I did help the Bloody Baron find a dead baby and make peace with that dead baby.
I, for one, am genuinely shocked that someone going by the name the Bloody Baron would have done so many people so much wrong.
Mm-hmm. He seemed like a perfectly gregarious fellow at first, but turns out not a good person, the Bloody Baron.
Huh. Just when you think you can judge someone by their name.
Yeah.
Don't scare me, young lady.
But, okay. Alright, so this dude's gonna hold me up here.
Case of the plague surface in the city or something.
The plague? No. We're to not let folk in the city. It's an order, so I don't.
It says we're not to let folk into the city. No plague, though.
What kind of pass are we talking about?
He wants me to have a transit pass.
Who issues them?
Our How should I know? I'm a lonely
He doesn't know who
soldier.
issues the transit passes. Tom, is there an aspect of this game where I have to navigate the bureaucracy of fantasy Poland?
Word is the king himself.
Like, am I going to have to apply for a passport?
All over his beautiful city. Apart
I
from
mean,
which, when
honestly,
folk
if
can
he
go
doesn't
hither
know
and
who
thither,
makes the
always a
passports,
chance
I don't
some
see
spy
why
will
you
slink
can't just
through.
say,
This
you know,
way, spies got it hard.
Ron Swanson style. Not
Right,
to
like,
worry.
I do what I
Here's
want.
my passport.
I think I'm going to do that with my
Let me look at that.
magic. I mean, if I don't already
Missing
actually have a
seal,
pass,
the red one.
which it doesn't have a seal.
Department of Civil Defense forgot again.
Says Department of
They're
Civil
really off their
Defense
heads
forgot
these
again,
days.
which it hits a little bit too close to
So be it.
home.
You may come through.
But like I
Amazing.
do have like a little bit of a Jedi mind trick thing. It's what I used to kill that owl ghoul earlier, after remembering the classic children's rhyme. Fight an owl ghoul, control its mind.
As Tom astutely mentioned, it rhymes better in Polish.
It has to, because it sucks in English. Like it's a garbage nursery rhyme. I'm not afraid to say so.
It's hard to believe Lanka dabbled in witchcraft. Such a nice old
Now, Rob, how are you doing, man? How's the fam?
she has. Dried herbs, plenty. Hunters found a moonshine third.
Looking to make some
Oh.
corn sorry, hey?
Keep that up and I'll crack your skull open.
So this guy's talking smack, and there's a barber. And Gerald just, Jerry Two Swords just steals or kills for passports, in Tom's experience.
Wait, you're telling me Jerry Two Swords isn't a registered citizen of Fantasy
Good.
Poland?
Make me look
Well,
decent.
Fantasy Poland's going through some, I would like,
Fascism.
yeah, a little bit of a case of the fascisms.
That's unfortunate.
Here we go. We're gonna, oh gosh, Lindsay, I'm gonna need your help here. I know that there's a delay in the video, but there's a barber mechanic,
Uh-huh.
and I want your help selecting Jerry Two Swords' new haircut.
Okay, yes. I am I am fully equipped to help
This
you
is
pick a
the
haircut.
moment that you were born for, Linz.
This everything has been leading up to this moment.
Fantasy mullet time. Shaved on the sides,
Amazing.
short on the top, and a ponytail.
They have no high and tight, and I am bothered by that.
Jerry Two Swords goes up. Yo, man, can I get a fade? I would love it. Alright, so here are our options. Shaved except for a ponytail. Long and loose. Loose, not too long. Shaved on the sides, short on top, and a ponytail. Or the Elven Rebel cut.
Okay, I still haven't seen any of these haircuts yet because I'm waiting for the stream to load, but I'm very excited about Elven Rebel.
Elven Rebel cut it is. I don't think... This is the kind of game where it's not going to show me. Like, there's no preview. It's just... Okay,
Oh, no.
you ask for it, you get it.
Oh no. Wait, so we're just guessing? This
We're
barber
just
doesn't-
guessing.
Like this barber
So-
is just sort of describing these things he can do to your hair
Yeah.
without any kind of like visual reference.
Yep.
I don't trust this barber.
I mean, barbers are not innately trustworthy people. But
That's true.
the fun thing
You know
is,
what?
the more I adventure, the longer my hair and beard will grow. So the next time, I'm like, oh, let's try this one next time.
Oh, exciting. Okay, you should absolutely do the Elven Rebel cut. 'cause
All right, Elven Rebel
I
cut
wanna
it
see-
is.
I want to see what that looks like. That better be like an undercut or something.
It's okay. It's short. It's a little bit slick back, a little bit pompadour-y. It's kind of a
Fiends about the forest.
it's kind of a like a white-haired greaser look, and I'm here for it.
You made
Okay.
Geralt look like a villain.
I mean,
Good.
they don't have a haircut that's specifically like, you know, anime protagonist Catboy. That would be the most fitting for Jerry Two Swords.
Okay, wait, I think I missed it. I think I'm further behind, like, in the stream
Here we go.
than you are.
We'll give him a little bit of a while it catches up with the quests. We'll give him a little bit of a Geralt on the catwalk.
Okay, that's not exactly what I was hoping for when it came to the Elven Rebel look, but you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah. It's not a bad haircut, and some of the things that we have seen in this game are bad haircuts, so I'm okay with it.
This is a Bond villain haircut.
Right. This is it is the kind of thing that you could see Mads Mikkelsen wearing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Must appear on something.
There's
I also
somebody I want
appreciate
to buy
the
something.
stripy shirt.
Yeah, my second-hand Gambison.
Let me see.
Yes,
Pick something.
yes, that.
All right, so Tom's going to fill us in on some of the important parts here. So Jerry Two Swords' home kingdom is already occupied by Nilfgaard at the beginning, or at this time in the story. So so I have gotten used to
So long.
like I don't even go to this school. I'm not from here. I'm from Rivia. The Nilfgaardians have taken over the kingdom where I'm kind of like on a work visa. You know, like that's where all the monsters are, so I go there and mess around. There's lots and lots of kingdoms, and the vast majority of them are in some kind of sad Polish-style turmoil.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah, so I not only have to navigate the bureaucracy of like one kingdom, I have to navigate the bureaucracy of all of the kingdoms that are like vying for the same territory.
Something tells me I'll finally get
Bureaucracy Simulator 1998.
Sure doesn't look like
Precisely.
short on work.
So Jerry Two Swords is a citizen of nowhere at this point, and also because of his stark white hair and kawaii cat eyes and gruff demeanor, nobody likes him because he's a witcher too.
Crafting's like ploughing a maid.
So he's double ostracized.
What's wrong with witchers?
We're mutants. We don't age well. We're generally just kind of like weird sword guys. You know, you see a dude with two swords and you're like, well, that's nature's way of saying stay away.
Show me what you have in stock.
I mean, like, given that he's allegedly a monster hunter, shouldn't people be like glad that he showed up to like kill the monster? Like, oh, thank God we don't have to do this now.
Exactly.
For the most part, but that's usually something that happens like when like that's something that goes down when there's a monster around. Otherwise, if the dude just shows up, trouble tends to follow them. They're like, hey, I'm riding into town with a griffin head stuck on my stuck on my horse's saddle.
Gotcha. So this is basically like the Grey Wardens in Dragon Age. Where
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, they're good, but also like when they show up, you know, shit's about to go down. So probably you don't want them to show up.
Yeah, I think it's like the I'm gonna sell that necklace. Yes, I think it's like I also haven't played Dragon Age, which is another one of the games that has been recommended to me.
Okay, well, when you get to the point where you play Dragon Age, I promise to be your co-host and scream in your ear about every piece of lore happening.
I'm gonna hold you. I'm gonna hold you to that.
Okay. All right.
100%.
Because I don't play video games, but I am BioWare trash. So if at any point you want to talk in depth at length about either Dragon Age or Mass Effect, I'm prepared to do it.
Someday, Lindsay, I will send you a message that's like, "Hey, Lizard, get in the car. We're gonna go do Garrus, or what's his name again? Our fish boyfriend for Mass Effect.
Which
Clampy McMandible face. Garrus Valkyrian?
Yes, Garrus Valkyrian. The thing is that when you said fish boyfriend, there are actually two.
Yeah. I immediately thought of it.
Who, like Thane Krios, also could have 100% been fish boyfriend.
That's the assassin that looks like Abe Sapien, right?
Yes.
With
100%.
with the hot glistening eyes.
Yeah.
I will.
The nictitating membranes.
I will 100% be like, Lindsay, we got to go hit on aliens. Let's go.
I'm there for it. I'm always here to hit on aliens.
Oh, love it. Okay, I think double check here. I need this dude to repair my arm or my sword, but I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that I don't. And of course, I'm still like I'm still so unused to using an Xbox controller, so I keep hitting all the wrong buttons. And at one point, I was so good at this.
What would you say your go-to controller is now?
I mean, now it's an Xbox controller because I mean, I use the Switch a lot.
Man, hopping between the Switch and an Xbox controller fucks me up because those are the only two systems I have. And I always immediately like, oh, this is how buttons are mapped. I will now forget how any other controller buttons are mapped for the rest of time.
Right? And like a lot of the other stuff that I would generally use is based on like keyboard, so I'm thoroughly unused to like they switch the Y and the X on an Xbox controller versus the Nintendo controller. So it's like press X and I immediately jam on Y and I'm like, nope.
Yep, every time, just to fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
So long.
Yeah, and another thing that Tom points out about Witchers in general is there were some really terrible Witchers in the past. Like supervillain massacred a whole bunch of people. I mean, I'm kind of a nice guy Witcher. Real nice guy, not like, you know, why don't you love me nice guy. I try to help people out. And even then, I'm called the Butcher of Blaviken because I once killed a whole bunch of people in the town of Blaviken.
This is the kind of thing I was talking about when I said you're either a whole himbo or you're not a himbo. There's no in-between himbo. There is no himbo that is also a butcher of a whole town.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I mean, I don't think it was the whole town. I think it was just all of the fighting people in that town.
This would have been relevant world, you know, information to know. Because now my entire understanding of Jerry Two Swords as, like, an otherwise erstwhile, like, good, you know, old-fashioned monster hunter with an adoptive daughter is now also a butcher.
Well, I'm fairly certain, and I don't know, again, I don't know the... So, another weird thing, the thing I cannot get used to is that in this game, cats don't tend to like me, which is the complete opposite of real life.
Mm-hmm.
Because
You're looking for me, and who might
cats
you be?
adore me in
My
real
mother
life,
sent
and
you.
it weirds me out a little
Yeah,
bit.
to see if you're still alive and well.
But yeah, so I
I'm quite alive
think
and extraordinarily well, Geralt of Rivia. Better than
I
I've ever been
think
since
that the
Rockford
people in
Night, and now that you've
Blaviken
seen me, I bid you
sucked.
farewell.
but I don't know for sure.
nothing
Tom,
more to
can you
talk
back me
about.
up on that?
It's fine that we butchered them because they suck.
Right, like I'm pretty sure that the butchery was at least in gritty Polish fantasy Polish anti-hero fashion. I think it was justified.
I see. Okay. Well, I'm prepared to believe that.
Yeah, there we go. So canonically, Tom says, canonically, there's witchers who would kill a monster near a village, then go to the village and be like, okay, pay me. And the villagers would be like, we didn't hire you. And the witcher would go, well, time to do some more killing, I guess.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So I'm talking to, and I'm not sure how to like juggle this with asking you guys for advice and having the stream lag. I'm talking to the Bloody Butcher's daughter. She's pretty much like, well, thanks for the concern. Why are you here? I can either, you know, she's kind of being dismissive. Should I tell her that her father's worried about her, or just be like, hey, I understand why you bailed. Have a nice day.
I mean, does her father seem worried about her, or you know, is he just being like an abusive asshole?
He is full of regret, and he's full of regret, but that doesn't like beat the patriarchy, you know? Like
Yeah.
he's sad because he's like, oh, they left because I got drunk, and it's like, well, no, they left because of years and years of systemic and constant abuse.
Yeah.
You got drunk enough to beat your pregnant wife into miscarriage, and then the baby haunted you.
Oh,
And
man.
like, yeah, like we had to go through a whole thing to put it to rest.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and lean pretty heavily on. You know what? I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Carry on, ma'am.
I kind of feel that, like,
Your father's a vile man. You're
yeah,
angry and bitter.
Jerry says,
No one.
your father sucks, and I get it.
Why did you take
Yeah,
this
no
job?
one is
Because
obligated
he
to
knows
talk to
something
their
about
shitty
someone
dad.
dear to
So
me.
Yeah,
Promised to tell me if I found you and your mother.
Got it.
like,
Blackmail. Just his
right,
style.
it sucks. He
Well,
sucks.
Now you found me. You can tell him I'm alive and I'm never
I
coming
can tell
back.
him, I can tell the butcher that that she's alive and that he's never coming back.
Wojtek claims
like,
your
you
mother
got it.
had strange marks on her hands, and that a monster dragged her into
And
the
apparently a
woods.
monster,
We were riding
and if I'm not misremembering,
Suddenly,
Wojtek is a
Mom cried
crazy
out, bent over, almost fell off her horse.
like
I
hedge
rode up
witch
to her and
dude
saw
in the
something
woods.
strange. Her hands were on fire.
Wojtek's like, oh yeah, by the way, the monster, the mother of this poor ugly baby,
I saw it toppled
yoinked
straight
into the
and
woods
never
by a
been so
monster.
scared
So
in my
good luck
life.
finding her.
And that thing
Oh,
grabbed
good.
my mum
Oh,
and disappeared
exciting.
into the
Nice.
woods.
Yeah.
I wanted to
So I
turn
found the
back
daughter.
after,
Daughter's
but
like, yeah,
the
dude,
horse
she's not
panicked.
coming back. Don't blame her. You know,
Now I don't
told her to
even
stay
know if
safe.
she's alive.
Now I gotta go into the woods and find your mother.
I don't mean to pry, but I know your mother had a miscarriage.
His doing. He shoved her. She fell. That's how it started.
So
We were
yeah, the
alone,
general
no one to
consensus
help.
is the
Blood
bloody Baron
Worst
sucks,
night of my
and
life.
Sorry.
if she doesn't
Hard
like,
for you both.
I would give her a knife
Raving
with
was
which
better
to
this
perform
way,
the
but she never
stabbings
wanted
as
to
I
go.
brought her back. But if she doesn't want to go back, I'm not going to
Must
force
have
it.
had a
Like,
fever. She was losing blood
Yeah,
the
I
whole
mean,
time.
totally
She
fair.
didn't want the
Like,
child.
Said
she's
she'd sooner
free to
kill
live her
him
own
in her
life.
guts than bear another
She seems
child
like
from
she's doing
his
all
sick.
right.
Yeah.
With her armor and whatnot.
she's rocking some like cool punk rock spike pauldrons, you know.
What will you do
It
now?
looks homemade, not
Find
bought
my
at Hot Topic.
You realize that
I
might
dig
not be your
her
business.
her general
Don't worry,
steez.
I'm not daft enough to believe I can do it alone.
Got a sharp
I've got some
haircut,
new
like
friends now. Powerful friends.
Yeah, she's doing all right. She's clearly working through that
One of
trauma
these
in a
friends,
healthy
if it's
way.
not a secret.
yeah,
No
like
secret.
She's moved on, found new
Heard of the
people. It's
Church
pretty
of the
good.
Eternal Fire?
Oh, but she is working with a cult, though. Like,
Righteous,
a
brave
let's
men.
find and burn the elves cult, so maybe not healthy.
Come
The
on.
eternal fire.
Once the heat of the
Maybe.
fire has set your
Maybe
heart on
not
it
good.
gives you strength and leads you down a path of truth for the rest of your life.
Come
I hope
on.
it'll bless you
Fantasy
with its
Poland.
warmth one day.
Can't
Thanks.
any of you be good?
Thing is,
Right.
Can't any of you just be like
It's easy to get burned.
unalloyed good?
Can we not have all of the moral relativism?
Your father.
Who?
Like, I had an abusive childhood. Well, I'm not going to bring you back to him because I agree that he sucks. That's good.
That bit of my life.
I am, however, gonna, I am gonna go hard right and super religious. No.
Never thought the Baron
Wait,
would
no,
stoop
not
to
that.
higher than
Not
monsters.
that.
Though I hear you're good at tracking things down.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who's,
like
Haven't
thus
introduced
far,
yourself.
like every time you tell me about something,
Which
you're like,
in
oh,
service of His
you know,
Royal Majesty
this
Radovid of
is, this
Redania.
is Jim or whatever.
certainly have heard of
He's
us.
just a happy
Rings a
little
bell.
man with
Right.
like, you know,
Baron
a
sent me to
tailor
fetch
shop,
his
and then
daughter,
like
let's face it.
you bury the lead, and like, you know, 3 or 4 scenes later, you go, oh, by the way, Jim with the
appreciate your
tailor shop
concern.
murdered
I don't need
so
it.
many children.
As for tomorrow,
Look,
So many.
I'm sorry.
Before he repented and became a tailor.
All of the leads are buried for me too. I didn't know that she was gonna do this. I was like, hey, I found you finally. Your dad's worried about you, and I don't want to talk to that guy. Okay, I'm not gonna go talk to that guy. Yeah, I'm doing fine here. I've got lots of friends. Who are your friends?
The Inquisition.
All right, like the Inquisition. No,
where are you gonna
no, don't do that.
She's had a harrowing.
But as far as I can tell, my only options are either join in the Inquisition or here we go. We are going to tag. Tom changed his mind and is like, okay, I got to get in on this voice call. He went through like a tremendously difficult sinus thing and is like still on the mend. So he's like actually hurting himself to get on this and talk.
I am here.
Tom's just like, I can't take it anymore. He doesn't know shit about The Witcher.
Before you go,
Neither of them know anything, and they must be corrected.
Clara. Father told you to give me Clara.
Or it could be because I haven't had a chance to hang out with two of my
Can one
favorite
gesture
people in the
never
world
make
in a
up for
long
ruined
time.
Childhood. So long, Witcher.
Now you can hang out with
Well, I'm grateful you
with
gave
4 of my favorite people of all time. Also on the call are
getting yourself into.
Rob, one of my oldest friends from high school, and James, one of the few friends from my college days, and the guy who played the bagpipes at my wedding.
Well, it is nice to meet you, gentlemen.
Nice to meet you as well. Nice to meet you.
Y'all, the cat's name is Nibbles. This is important.
Okay, so you said cats don't normally like you, but that cat seems chill. So is Nibbles your friend?
I think maybe he is, but like there was a scene like at the beginning of this whole exchange where like the cat jumped up on the table and Jerry Two Swords kind of like stared at it, and the cat just looked back at him and then did cat things. And that is every other cat that I have run into this game has been like hostile, has been, you know, like yowling and hissing at me and backing away. And I have run into...
So clearly that's not actually a cat. That's something else masquerading.
That is some sort of shapeshifter, I'm betting. Like Nibbles is a witch. And it's like,
Yeah,
well,
okay.
where do you hide from the witch hunters? Duh.
Among them.
You become a cat and just like hang out with them.
Cats had names to give you some importance of signification.
It is also, I think, the first cat that I have seen with a name.
Maybe all the other cats are witches.
I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, like, we've got 4 cats, but I'm pretty sure that they're not witches, just idiots.
Oh, maybe it could be one of those things where it's like, you know, in Vampire the Masquerade, no one's actually a Toreador. They're always a Setite pretending to be a Toreador.
Right.
So you've never met, like, a real cat. You've only ever met people pretending to be a cat.
Oops, all witches.
To the point where you're just honestly shocked when you run into a real life cat because it does not behave in any way you've ever seen a cat act.
Yeah, like maybe Nibbles is the first real cat who's like, nah, dog, we're cool. Like, I got no beef with you. But this game was like highly, you know, everybody loved it. Everybody raved about the game. So far, there is no mechanic to allow me to pet the cat. And I think that is a horrific oversight.
It's a garbage game, then.
0 out of 10. Not having a good time at all.
Not nearly as good as Horse Simulator 1998.
No.
So there is in fact a website that lists if you can pet the dog/cat in a game, and it is highly useful.
And this is the one where they're like, hey, Witcher, sorry guys, good in all other ways. Can't pet the cat. How can we... Okay, I think that guard was starting to get a little bit frisky with me, so I'm gonna leave. Should I go to the tavern first, Tom?
Sure. I'm not really sure what you're going to be doing next. I know you haven't gone to Crookback Bog yet, have you?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, you're going to go there very soon, and it has the creepiest NPCs in the entire game.
The creepiest NPCs in the entire game. So far, I did help a very ugly baby. Is it creepier than the ugly baby?
100%.
Uh-oh. That was a very ugly baby, Tom.
Is it gonna be like creepy as in like Shadow over Innsmouth creepy? Or like what kind of creepy are we talking here?
Guy that walks around with 2 swords creepy?
I don't want to spoil it because it's really good. You're gonna meet 3 gods.
Oh.
Well, that's exciting.
Or at least 3 things that are as powerful as gods.
Not sure how to feel about that. Speaking
of the cats that you can pet,
right? Like, and this is my cavalcade of witches.
We don't serve lushes, shavers.
This guy doesn't serve lushes, shavers, caretakers, or students from the Philosopher's Hall.
Any of the people from that list.
I wouldn't serve students from the Philosopher's Hall either.
No philosophy majors. Yo, man, I respect that.
Chatty little git.
What's your poison?
You say, what do you want to drink? And they go, what is truth? And I'm like, no, I don't have time for this.
Have a look.
Get out of here. Never show your face here again.
There is apparently a card game that I could play in this.
Oh God, no! Not a game within a game.
Oh yeah, and one hell of a game within a game. Like I could play a shitty version of Fantasy Poland's Hearthstone against many people. Like, I could go up to nearly anybody at any given time and be like, hey, do you play Magic the Gathering? And enjoy a rousing game of Magic the Gathering. Except it doesn't make sense to me. I need to have a life outside of this game. Like, I cannot get into Gwent.
Yeah, I'm instantly furious that this exists.
That's fair. I saw somebody, another YouTuber that I enjoy, Super Butterbuns, just started playing Final Fantasy IX, which is hands down my all-time favorite Final Fantasy game. And that one too has an inbuilt card game. Right, that's where I need to go. Talk to the Baron. No, that's it.
Super Butterbun's various for beginners videos that she does for different games are some of the most entertaining things I've ever watched on YouTube.
She's hysterical. Like, Lindsay, you're you know like how Kingdom Hearts works, right?
Vaguely.
Right.
I know there are Disney characters in it.
That is, I played Kingdom Hearts. Actually, James was here for this back when I was playing Final Fantasy IX and Kingdom Hearts. I played the first one and fell in love with Final Fantasy IX. And then like didn't play any of the other Kingdom Hearts. But it was like around the same year.
Okay.
I don't know how Kingdom Hearts works either, but the videos of this woman explaining how Kingdom Hearts works is like an hour long and you will not stop laughing. It is shockingly funny.
Okay.
Where's the Baron? Yeah, he's back down there. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Crowsburg.
Lindsay, I just sent you on Discord her video of Legend of Zelda for beginners, and it's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Okay, I'll have to give it a watch.
But she just started playing Final Fantasy IX, and that has a card game that you actually have to learn if you're going to like make one of the harder bosses easier. You have to have an item that you get from winning a card game.
Why do so many of these games feel like you need to also have a card game inside the game? Why? Why would you do that?
Fortunately, this one is, as far as Tom has led me to believe, totally optional. Like, you don't have to play Gwent with everybody, but if you want to, you can spend another 30 hours playing Hearthstone.
There is one quest.
Within a game,
No, go ahead.
Like, eventually the tautological...
I was just going to say, I've been a game within a game fan since Super Mario Bros. 3, so...
It's fair.
But why? But why, I ask you?
Sometimes you don't want the stress of killing monsters and navigating the politics of fantasy Poland. You just want to play Magic the Gathering. Like, you have a blue counter deck that you've been aching to try out.
Just load up Neopets.
Right?
What do you call
like you wanna play a chill, low stakes card game? Just log into the old Neopet. Why?
Y'all, this is important. I have to kill enough time before the stream catches up. I come back to the Bloody Baron with information about his daughter. I'm going to find out more and then follow the leads to try and track down his wife, who, let us once again remember, was dragged off into the woods by some kind of monster after her hands caught on fire. And the first thing that I say to this guy is, hey, do you want to play Hearthstone? It's the top of the list. Let's play Gwen. My guy, this is not what you were hired for.
Gave Tamara your gift.
Not now, Jerry.
I've changed my mind entirely. This is good, actually. Playing fake cards inside the RPG is good.
I think
purely because it led to this point. Yes, I'm for it. I'm here for it.
I think that something that we may have overlooked is that it is not, in fact, that Jerry Two Swords is a himbo. It's that Jerry Two Swords is your typical Hot Topic sword dude. He's got two swords. He's like a super edgelord. He is not good in social encounters. So like he just shows up and is like, "Hey, you guys want to play Magic?" No, dude. How's your dead baby? Is that working out better? Jerry, get out of here. Okay, I'll see you guys next time.
2000.
Right.
One more shot on that Magic the Gathering game.
Right? No. How about you guys play Vampire: The Eternal Struggle? No.
Gwent is actually I don't know if it's called Gwent, but they have a game that's an app, a mobile app that is.
It is.
Mhm.
It's Gwent.
Yeah, that's the same game. So if you are away from The Witcher,
So long.
you can
I'm listening.
you can then
What do you
play
contemplate?
the game inside The Witcher on your phone.
About there being witches in Velen.
I pay no heed to
So
peasant babbling.
so naturally,
Common folk see witches,
the
wizardry,
like
devils, and
logical
who knows
conclusion
what
of
the
this is that
fuck
there
else,
have
only
to
which
be
way
some
they
kind of
turn.
real world Gwent game tournaments happening.
I am certain that there are people that like
Surely.
unironically play the game because they're
You
big
wind
fans
up
of it.
here. Just curious.
It's no secret.
I mean, and the other thing to
My unit
remember,
smashed
like
all
the
stars.
Witcher,
Soon
that
after,
guy was
I started
writing.
regrouping, driving
The
front
author of The
back.
Witcher, who I would butcher the name if I attempted to pronounce it. Polish is not
Deserters,
a language with which I
joined us.
speak
We were
well.
a
Too many Z's and
snowball
C's.
rolling down a slope. By the time we
But
reached
that guy
Cloud
like started
Castle,
writing
size
The
of
Witcher
the
short
forest.
stories in the
Just
80s,
march into the fortress, make
and then they
yourself
got
at home.
like
With
they started
Nilfgaard
picking up
advancing
steam in the
London, Lord
90s
of
and have
Fled,
only really
abandoned
kind
the
of like
village.
blown up
Once
in
this war's over,
in the
we'll
last
start
few years.
victorious. The Black Ones will grant me a
Uh,
title.
but he
Because
is
even the first two Witcher games kind of came and went without much fanfare, right?
yeah like nobody really noticed him until Witcher 3
The
took
first,
off.
The first Witcher game, the combat is bad. Like it uses a combat system that is just bad, and then Witcher 2 was just bad. Like the plot wasn't very good, the voice acting wasn't very good. Like Witcher 3 was really where they turned it around and made it a decent game.
And it also, like, correct me if I'm wrong on this, it also put CD Projekt Red on the map.
Yeah.
So like now this little game studio from Poland is making the games.
And then the nightmare that is Cyberpunk 2077.
Turns out you shouldn't promise things you can't deliver on.
Although I will give them credit for their patches have definitely made the game playable. Like it's now what they promised it to be.
Congratulations, you did the bare minimum.
Yeah, they made a big mistake, but then they fixed it, which I'll give them credit for.
It's like the old Bud Light commercials. It's drinkable.
Yeah, extra drinkable. But is it good? We didn't promise
It's
that.
drinkable.
You can't hold us to that. We
You
said
can
it's
swallow it without a gag reflex.
we said it's drinkable. It is a liquid. Okay, so let's see. I have that looks like a well. Do I have to go down the well, Tom?
There is something down there, but I don't remember what it is.
The girl from the ring.
Okay, yeah, I'll go say hi to her.
No, he already fought her. That was the very first wraith he fought. Lady that got thrown down a well.
That's right, I forgot about her.
Main waifu.
See, this is why you don't throw women down wells.
Ooh, I found some mushrooms though. And there's some kind of gooey. It's making weird noises, y'all. Is that a hag? Tom, is that a hag?
I mean, I can't see it or hear it, but
It's
probably.
making a noise.
Well, light it on fire and see how it goes.
That's your answer to everything.
It's the
not a
correct
bad
answer in
answer.
this game.
It's a good
Yeah,
answer.
in his defense, that'll solve quite a lot of problems.
Yeah, okay. See,
My
there's... let's
my
see.
first response to all enemies in this game, except for owl ghouls and flying enemies, is to light them on fire. With owl ghouls or flying enemies, you hit them with mind control first, and then they fall to the ground or lose their spikes.
And you light them on fire.
And then you light them on fire. Yeah, correct.
I forgot how to crossbow.
You have to put it in your menu and then select it from the wheel.
But I did. It's there. Standard crossbow bolt, blunt crossbow bolt. And then how... Right, but like then how I'm do select crossbow.
I mean, other than saying select it from the wheel, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, there we go. I found it. It was the other trigger button. Fine. Yeah, it's a water hag. Oh, she did not like that. I mean, it makes sense. I don't think I'm doing enough damage to just, like, pelt away. This would take an entire stream of just needling down the water hag, so I am going to go... I guess I should just go down and, like, punch her in the face.
So, I'm looking at the, like, Wikipedia page for the Witcher book series, and, they didn't even get English translations until starting in 2008.
Yeah, like this was not a popular fantasy series in America. Like, people found the game and were like, what the hell's this?
It is beyond huge in Poland.
There's not a whole lot else to do in Poland. Like, it's kind of a point of national pride for them. I mean, they've got a big video game company, you know, AAA, big company, lots of employers, and it's making a Polish property. So, like, well done, Poland.
So there's actually another Polish video game publisher. I'm not sure what the name is, but they make specifically horror games. There's a game that came out recently called The Medium that they make, and I watched a playthrough of it, and it is legitimately creepy.
Wow. Who was it that made Senua's Sacrifice? Who made Hellblade?
I don't know. Let me look it up.
By the way, that game, incredible.
Ninja Theory did.
Ninja Theory. Didn't they do, like, Ninja Gaiden?
No, they did. Hold on. I'm bringing up their page. They're a British developer. They did a couple of the Devil May Cry games.
Jump, Jerry, jump. Let's do some...
It looks like they mostly do support for other studios, but yeah, they did a couple of the Devil May Cry games, and then they did Senua.
Yeah, if any of you are ever looking for a game that will simultaneously disturb you and break your heart a little bit, Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is fantastic.
The sequel comes out later on this year, and it has the most terrifying video game trailer I have ever watched.
It's just a Highland video.
I know, but they're a scary band.
Only because you don't dig the sound of antlers being clattered together. Yeah, Highland's doing all the music for it. It's a very cool kind of take on Norse mythology. You have to punch a bunch of different gods.
Exciting. Always love it when a video game lets me punch a god.
Yeah, and especially if those gods are like, like skull-wearing edgelords versions. You know, like when you find Surtur, you're like, you've got an animal skull on your head, and your sword's on fire. I don't think I like you, sir, and then you just wreck his shop. But that being said, the game is it is a blitz on your senses. You're supposed to play it wearing headphones because the main protagonist is schizophrenic and argues a lot with herself. And the delusions come at you from all angles, and you eventually have to kind of like pick and choose which of the voices you listen to, because they'll give you differing forms of advice or warning. Sometimes you end up lying to yourself. Sometimes you end up leading yourself in the right direction and having like a legitimate intuition that you can follow. And it's extraordinarily well done.
Neat.
Like, I got the game because it went on sale on Steam. I don't know how to get out of here.
You have to go use ARD on that, like, the area where you tried to dive under. You need to use ARD on it to bust up the wood that's blocking your way out.
Oh, can I reach it from...
You should be able to use ARD underwater.
Oh.
I think the only sign you can't use underwater is Igni.
Is Igni? Okay, well, let's give this a shot. I do not like the camera controls while I swim, so...
They're very annoying.
Extraordinarily.
So you're talking about punching gods in the face earlier. I'm not familiar with the game that you were talking about, but have you seen the newest God of War?
I have, and I would eventually like to play that as well. Hopefully someday soon they will come up with more PS5s, and I can eventually get a PS5 and then play it on that. Because I'm not sure if and when they're going to release it for PC, or if it's already out on PC.
I don't know if it is. I haven't heard if it is.
Yeah, but like the Norse aesthetic. I think James, you and I were talking about this a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
The Norse aesthetic. It's so hot right now. Like everyone's like, yeah, the Norse gods. And this is like Senua's Sacrifice is an interesting take on it, because your main character, not Norse. She's a Pict. Okay. Telekinetic blast, right? Hard. And then I press the button on the ARD button, and it no work.
Can you do it from the surface?
Let's find out.
God of War is a PlayStation exclusive, which makes sense because I'm pretty sure Sony bought Santa Monica Studios not too long ago.
We go. Come on, girl.
John, I think you were actually the one who introduced me to the God of War series back when
The original
it first
games were
came
wonderful.
Yeah, back in the olden days, it was. Oh, check it out, dude. You got like chain hand swords, and you can swing them around and be like, wah-ga-ga-ga-ga. And this latest one, they were like, but what if emotions?
And
Right.
accents.
Like, what
I
if
think
we did?
lost Lindsay.
What if we did that, but also like had them feel things?
So is it more story guided, or I mean,
It's very much more story guided. Think of like something like the Uncharted series, but less guns and more hacky slashy over the shoulder camera.
Yeah, and more issues.
Yes.
More
You've
issues
gotta-
with your father.
Yeah, you've got a young whippersnapper on your tail the entire time.
Maybe, hey, John,
Mm-hmm.
You can use your crossbow underwater. Maybe try shooting the wood with it. Other than that, I'm not sure. I probably did this the very first time I came to the Baron's Keep, so I don't even remember.
Can I throw a bomb? Will that go out if it goes underwater?
You might be able to throw a bomb. That might work.
Let's throw a bomb.
Worst that happens is you lose a bomb.
Essentially, if you enjoyed the original God of War stuff, it's a really good and smart evolution of the series. And if you didn't, then you probably still won't really like this one.
Also, they changed Kratos' voice actor. He is now Teal'c from Stargate, the namesake of our Chihuahua.
You nerd.
Aw, Teal.
It's not a Stargate, it's a Fargate. It's legally distinct from a Fargate.
You have to aim with that there bomb, John.
I flung one haphazardly, and I have no regrets. That seemed more like a flashbang, and I don't think that it did anything in terms of actually damaging the wood. But let's try your crossbow trick, I guess.
Okay, guys, I've got to hop off to eat dinner, but it was good hanging out with y'all.
Yes, and thank you so much for joining us, Linz. We miss you tremendously.
Oh, I miss you guys too. I miss you guys a bunch.
And let us know if again, I'm going to be doing this every Monday, and I would love to have you co-pilot anytime, just because I enjoy talking to you.
Absolutely. I hope to be able to hop on the next time.
Fantastic. And Saturday evenings, if you're bored, I stream Chrono Trigger.
Exciting. Okay,
So-
good to know.
All right. Well, much love to you, my dear. We will see you next time.
All right, see you later. Bye.
And she is a treasure. Okay. So there's Ard. It doesn't look like firing a crossbow at it does any good. I am out of bombs.
Well, John, you appear to just be boned. You now live in this cave.
Yeah, I'm the new sea hag. No, let's see what we can find with our torchy senses. Okay.
What's over to the right of that area where the water is?
Over to the right of the area where the water is. Okay, so let's go. It is, I believe, another area with water. Like separated by a rock with cliff facing. No, dig up, stupid. Like, come on, Jerry. You gotta find the thing that you can climb, not the place where you can go down deeper. Like a lantern. Okay. There we go. We did it, guys. We found our way up to the ladder. Now I'm going to save the game, just in case this is another ladder boss.
Defeated by the ladder.
It has happened twice before. There we go. Aha. Okay, so now I get to
We off to milk some milkmaids.
Love to, but not so much.
investigate all remaining leads in Velen and find the Baron's wife. Cross those guards a little bit. But no, yeah, the new God of War is definitely on my list of I want to play this. I've heard nothing but good things.
So, there's no, reticle on your map which usually means you need to do a different quest, because a different quest is going to give you what the like lead that you need.
Do I need to
go to your journal and see what other quests you have? It'll be one right around this level.
Family matters. Follow the Baron. Suppose I need to hunt a witch. Find a witch on your own, or ask the residents of Midcops about.
To look for some cats.
Right. Like, have you guys seen a lot of cats anywhere? Find a witch in Midcops. That looks like that's where I should go. All right. Yeah, James will remember ye olden days of playing God of War. How, like, remember that tower thing?
Oh yeah.
Where it was
the one in Hades with spinning blades?
No, the one where it was like a 200 story, like you had to get through 200 levels of increasing difficulty, a constant swarm of enemies. You can only go with the health that you got from them. There was no saving, there was no using items, no nothing. It was just like, well, here you go.
Yeah, it was like their challenge mode, basically.
Mm-hmm. And
I remember pretty much all of the older ones had something along those lines.
Yeah, they apparently kept with tradition and just added like a, hey, you don't have to go, you don't have to do this, but it'd be cool if you did.
Yeah. And you unlock like some milk cartons instead of your string blades.
Like, now you can hit people with a fish, and you're like, this is the game that I came for.
Come on, Roach.
So in the new God of War, the like optional side bosses are Valkyries.
And they are tough as shit.
Yeah, eventually you fight the Queen of the Valkyries, who has all of the abilities that each of the previous Valkyries had, plus unique abilities of her own, and she has been described as on par with a top-tier Dark Souls boss.
Have you guys ever seen the channel Girlfriend Reviews?
I love Girlfriend Reviews. That is one of
10 out
my
of 10
favorite
YouTube would highly recommend. It's a girl named Shelby who reviews what it's like living with a boyfriend that plays different games. So it's not like she's not saying, hey, Red Dead Redemption, it's a good game. She's saying living with a boyfriend who's really into Red Dead Redemption, kind of irritating.
Yeah, it's all like, what is it like to be a backseat gamer?
Mm-hmm. And her review of God of War 5, they did 2 because the first one, she was like, he seems to have fun, and you know, lots and lots of quotes. She keeps calling me boy, which is awkward. But no, a solid game. And then the next one was like, he hasn't slept in weeks. He's fighting the Valkyrie Queen. He refuses to give up. It is driving me nuts.
So I have never heard of this YouTube channel before, but I am seeing that they have a video of Half-Life Alyx, and I have to check that one out.
Yeah, definitely watch their stuff. They're hysterical.
Massively entertaining.
And hey, feed their algorithm. You know, like if you like their stuff, and I promise you'll like their stuff. No, get off the horse. There you go. Drop them a like and a subscribe and comment on their videos and tell them that I sent you. You know, they're out here shaking and making content, and I respect them for that. They too have a bunch of cats who are idiots. Alright, so now we are in mid-cops, and I can take on the contract for Jenny O' the Woods. Is that my witch?
This will lead you somewhere fun, I'll put it that way.
That's ominous. Contract, Jenny O' the Woods. Whereas I'm pretty sure I can also get a contract for Jenny O' the Block. She used to have a little, now she has a lot.
The very first girlfriend reviews video that I watched was their Should Your Boyfriend Play The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild?
Mm-hmm.
And listening to her talk about how your reward for finding the Koroks is a piece of poopy. And how she has nightmares with the sound of opening up the map.
Diddling? No. Okay. I need to actually read these things, I guess. As per Professor Adam Stein's instructions, I will not be conducting further exploration of the sites where I discovered pictograms relating to the cat school of witchers.
More cats.
More cats. Geralt is a cat boy, confirmed. Nyan.
He's a wolf school.
No, he's a wolf school, but he's a cat boy.
That is true. Well, I mean, all witchers are cat boys.
Yeah, so, Nyan. Anyway, so that guy's not going to be doing that anymore. In the name of His Majesty, Radovid the Fifth, King of Redania, the bearer of this present document. All blockades. Religion and life. Nope. Caution, a troll's been seen and heard to the east of Oxenfurt on the left bank of the troll. Said troll is known to sing Redanian marching tunes, which is suspected to be some part of a Nilfgaardian diversion tactic.
That is one of the funnest quests in the entire game, but you won't be able to do it until you've gone up to like level 12 or something like that.
In the event of an encounter, it is recommended to remain immobile, keeping low to the ground and covering one's head. Stupid enough to think that you are a rock. Cool. The Shrieker, the monster that wove its nest near Crow's Perch and has taken killing both men and beasts, size of a reward. Dreadful, dangerous creature, takes a trained fighter, not just a pack of peasants with pitchforks. Ooh, a love letter. Oh, no. That's to the Baron. Sucks to be you. Okay, monster and Oxenfurt. Sharpers are looking for new players to play Magic the Gathering. Oxenfurt Forest has a thing to do. There's a soothsayer dwelling in Bankelham, who's ripping off. Stjepan wants to play cards. Yeah, we'll check the rest. Okay.
Like, even if you don't end up reading them at the time, because they'll all go into your journal.
Yeah, they'll give you the quest.
Yeah, anytime you pick up a new thing, always read it to make sure you get any, like, quest info from it. And it'll automatically pop up if you do.
Like that. That just gave me a bunch of cool quest stuff. Oh, okay. There and there. Okay, so that's the contract, Jenny of the Woods. Old Will Smithers on his mother grave. It's like to be Jenny of the Woods, whether not without her scythe or rake in hand. Yeah, let's go through our... Bestiary entry added. Contract. Quests. Alright, hunting a witch. I just basically have to poke around and poke around and talk to the people, right?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you're in the information gathering phase of the hunt.
Yeah,
I think you're gonna like what this one ends up being.
But like I poke around and talk to the people, and the first one that I get is a woman just like. I'm like, oh, awesome.
What do you want?
I want you to tell me about witches. Spill.
Not from here, methinks. Not from Velen.
Okay, old men, they know what's up.
So, where you from?
Originally, Rivia.
Rivia? Blimey, that's a ways.
A witch lives around here somewhere.
There's a place nearby my house that started making bubble tea.
From afar,
So I'm happy with
one
that.
like yourself. But she listens, understands.
Did you know that there is a
Helpful.
world boba
Not like
shortage
the
right
old
now?
witch.
Really?
Deaf as a stump and mean to boot.
It's true.
That's depressing. I just found a good boba shop near my place.
Swam there once. Trail starts
How do you run out of
Follow it to a great stone.
how do you run out of
Drop that
tapioca
lost
though?
end up,
Like,
the farmer tricked into thinking it was a giant egg. Then go right into the woods. You'll pass a destitute cart, and near it.
I don't
find a
know.
witch's hut.
Apparently, this
Thanks.
was
Been a big help.
reported on by NPR the other day, and apparently there is a pandemic shortage of boba.
that's wacky.
Because tapioca is made from the root of the cassava plant, which comes from Brazil, which is currently being hit like a Mack truck by the pandemic.
Oh, that'd do it. That would do it. I haven't been paying attention to chat in a while. Yeah. How do securities markets provide capital allocation when you're not giving money to the company's accounts, but instead an earlier investor? Why bother?
I mean,
God's bless
it's a little bit too technical for me. I don't even know, and I'm an economist.
I'm busy,
Yeah, like what purpose does a security market serve except to give more power to people that already have enough?
There's the boulder. Now right, and onto the cart.
I'm gonna leave fielding this one to you, Tom.
No, I that's like, even with my like education background, I can't give a good answer to that. That's a high finance question, and I am not a finance person.
There we go. More inappropriate PDA teens attacked me on the road. Price discovery, building retirements.
The cart. Witch's hut is somewhere nearby.
You're eventually going to get to a point in this game where you're going to fight a whole dungeon full of those little gremlin-y bastards, and it is a pain in the butt.
I will make sure to get. I'll make sure that I'm R'd beforehand. Building retirements. Cool. That's something that old people did and then shafted the rest of us on. Why would I give a rat's ass about people building retirements now? We're all gonna die poor.
Won't rise from the barn floor.
Like,
Pus streams from her snout.
congratulations, you built a retirement back in the 80s when you could rely on a job to actually take care of you. Now that's no longer the case. We've raised an entire generation of functional wage slaves. Who you don't get a 401k working a wage job, and the moment that a company has to pay you a 401k legally or provide for any kind of retirement, watch them cut your hours because you're not profit.
First, you must clean out your bar.
You don't matter to them.
thoroughly.
Price discovery, those are two words that I understand individually, but I don't know what it means. I'm sure it's some way to make more money.
Go home.
Hey, more money. So securities markets, it's not real. You're not trading anything real. You're not even trading anything entertaining. You're moving numbers around on a spreadsheet in order to build wealth for the wealthy.
bitch is in a proper fury.
If somebody else happens to get wealthy, or wealthier as somebody else makes more money, yeah, sure, that's a price that they're willing to accept, because they know that eventually that money will also be theirs. People in power don't give up power.
So I know you didn't play Witcher 2, John.
I did not.
Had you played it, that whole little cutscene of the witch talking, you would have been very quickly like, oh. Her name is not Jenny, and she is not a witch. She is a very powerful sorceress from the academy.
You're like, I know you. We were high school pals, the two of us, huh?
You're not from the block at all.
Jenny, you have changed. The song, Recipe for Black Eyeliner, fucking read. One can mix up black eyeliner with crushed medicinal charcoal mixed with fresh egg yolk and a drop of lavender oil to keep contaminants at bay. Store the eyeliner in a cool place for at most 3 days, then make a new batch because the old one has surely rotted. Ingest the remaining charcoal, for it can only do you good. Gary Two Swords is going into his goth phase, y'all.
Normal candle.
I just examined and determined this is a normal candle.
He's joining the glam rock band.
Right. It's time for me to Depeche my mode.
Managed to amass quite a book collection.
I have never heard of closing the goddamn door.
Pentagram in chalk.
I'm pretty sure
Investigating.
you're looking for a basement door.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm just scoping out the rest of the room first.
Some artifact or...
Ooh.
So
Oh.
this is where she disappeared to.
So I found a hell portal. But I do want to go into that basement door first. Letter to Alexander. Darling, I'm writing because you must be worried that I'm still angry. Silly man, you know full well that I will never hold a grudge long. I forgive you. All because of that secretiveness of yours. Is it so strange for me to take an interest in your plague research? Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of weird. Okay, so before I enter the Hellmouth, I am going to take a trip down into the basement. Saved before I contended with the ladder boss. Get some manuscript pages. Double check with the Witcher senses. Yes, I go through the portal. Whoop! Alright. Nice growth.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So this witch, her name is Kira. She's one of Geralt's possible romantic interests in the game. And in my playthrough of this, I had Geralt sleep with every woman he possibly could throughout the plot. And eventually, when you get to the later part of the game, there's a battle at Kaer Morhen, and you get all of your allies together to help you fight. And when you get to the castle, you walk in the front door, and there's Kira, Triss, and Yennefer all sitting around a table together, and you're just like, oh no, I'm gonna die.
So is this the kind of
mistake?
I mean, is this the kind of game where that matters, or is it just like in that one moment it's like, hey, here's a neat little thing that reflects the choices that you made?
We don't want to risk your affiliate status.
Common in children.
Someday, and hopefully soon. You know, like
Someone's grown.
it'll take a while. It'll take a while to build up like an actual audience and to get people that aren't just like, you know, friends of mine to eventually come by. But here's hoping.
You'll become a Nintendo ambassador yet.
Yeah, I'll get my very own Power Glove. It's so rad.
Who?
We'll send you a virtual boy from the archives.
I actually have one. That's the shocking thing. My like we got one early on, and yeah, no, it was headache inducing. But my mom just sort of like kept it in a box and found it was like found it and was like, hey, here you go. I found this virtual boy. And I'm like, well, that was a thing that blinded me for a while.
I remember Blockbuster had one on like demo.
Apparently.
And whenever I would ride my bike down to the local Blockbuster, I would waste as much time as I could before my head couldn't stand it anymore with my head in a virtual boy.
You're up to something, Geralt. If I'm to help you, you must tell me what's going on. Who
It
are
was
you looking
it was a weird thing because like
Siri.
Siri?
nowadays we have, you know, like in theory if
Not to mention the brooding, the furled
if I were a rich man, la da dee da da da, then I could get like an Oculus Rift, right? This thing was the size of an Oculus Rift with two other Oculus Rifts stacked upon it. It was like, here, strap this unwieldy cyber goggle to the front of your head. It will put tremendous stress on your delicate growing neck. So instead, put a stand on it. You'd put this thing on the stand and then just sort of like dump your face down into it and just like which also stressful on growing teenage necks.
I would play mine laying on the floor with it on my face.
Not so fast, Geralt. No humble pleas.
It's not
no
the right way to play video games. They're hunched over like some kind of gremlin from the very weight of it, hunched over in order to press your face down into the flashing light trough. Or lying on your back with the brick over your eyes, like just poor design.
Rises with every word you speak. I'm not sure.
Lady, I'm here to do the quest. I don't want to haggle.
Than I remembered. Isn't living in nature's lap supposed to be?
I don't have any money. I'm a communist.
Stinks. Oh, sod it! Don't give me that look. I know it's Siri we're talking about. It was an elf, this individual who asked.
I picked up a
no flea-bitten Scoia'tael
PlayStation VR a couple years ago. It was like super on sale for Black Friday, and I picked it up, and I still haven't played it yet.
Oh, well, you should. I know that I think it may have released on PlayStation VR. They made a Wraith game for it.
He was intelligent and compassionate.
Interesting.
He say what he wanted with Siri.
Only that.
Yeah, I might have to check that out.
If you're into the Arkham series, they made a PlayStation VR exclusive Arkham game.
I have seen video of that one, and I think I would get motion sickness real bad playing Batman in first person.
Virtual reality, baby.
Yes, he said he found a hideout in some elf
Or the new is it Rogue Squadron?
Why? Think I'll have
yeah, so
a couple of months ago.
That's why I got it, was for
he promised me something.
It's Star Wars Squadrons I picked up recently, but when I originally got it, I got it for Ace Combat 7 when that came out.
But I'd like to see Cirilla too.
Because that was also VR supported.
I would like to make
I've heard that if you.
Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna make a quick commentary about this game's use of subtext.
Sure. Just real quick, I was going to say I've heard that if you're going to have squadrons and you have access to VR, that VR is the only way to play it.
I feel that would probably be true because it's really hard to track enemy fighters when you're in the normal cockpit view.
I was hoping the elf would return as he'd promised, or else his waif would appear.
Subtext away.
All right, so I'm pretty sure that I just missed the chance to romance this particular lady, but that's okay. That's my heart belongs to my thick goth GF. But as you walk, like as you guys are walking towards the exit, before it gives you the option of, hey, let's go, or well, we can't go yet. There's something to be done. There's a pair of happily going at it little digital bunnies, and I was like, oh, that's clever, game. All right. Oh, game.
There is, in fact, another opportunity after her quest is done.
Well, well. Well, am I missing any treasure chests back here?
Well, John, I think my voice is about to hit its limit. So
Yeah, no problem. I think actually this is, it is 9 p.m. We've been streaming for a couple of hours, and videos over 2 hours, while possible on YouTube, are kind of a pain. So this is where we are going to save it. Kabam. And that is it for this evening's trip through Fantasy Poland. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching the stream, thank you so much for my friends keeping me company on Discord. It does make it a whole lot easier than me just talking to myself. And we'll do this again next Monday, same bat time, same Fantasy Poland channel. The usual call to action. If you're watching for the first time, fantastic. Thank you for joining me. I've got a lot of catching up to do, so like and comment and subscribe. Feel free to make fun of me in the comments. Anything that an actual person puts in the comments looks better than the links that are left by bots trying to trick me into looking at porn. Yeah, tell your friends about it. Go watch Super Butterbeans. Go watch Girlfriend Reviews. I'm sure I'll recommend more channels that I particularly enjoy. And Mondays is The Witcher. Saturdays is Chrono Trigger. If there's other games that you think I should play, drop it in the comments below. And we'll see you guys next time. Everybody have a lovely night.
You too.